Hi guys, how are you? This is Amarvani by Amar. That's the channel, and we are going to read the book, right? So this channel, just in case you haven't understood, is about inspiration. Everything that I'm doing on this channel is to inspire people to live a happier life, right? I'm reading my book. I'll read my other books. Written four other books so far. I'll be reading those books also on the channel. I'll also be reviewing books that I love. The review of Nike's Shoe Dog by Phil Knight and That'll Never Work, which is the story of Netflix, are also pending. I'll also be reviewing those books because books are the most important source of inspiration in the world. So I'll be reading those books. I'll be reading my own books. I'll also be talking about positivity as much as possible. I'll also be putting inspirational content around startups and entrepreneurship. I'm speaking to investors. I'm speaking to people who have done amazing stuff in the field of writing, in entrepreneurship, in comedy. And I'll try to talk to those people and bring those stories to this channel. So this channel overall is about inspiration. It's about helping people do what they love. I've also started a new initiative on LinkedIn. It's called Mentors Play. It's about it's hopefully at some point it will become into a startup. I can't say when, but the idea is to help people find mentors who can guide them to fulfill their dreams. Right. This is the purpose of this channel. It's about inspiration. So in case you come to this channel, you come for inspiration. You come for inspiration to live a happy and joyful life. That's what I'm trying to do on this channel. All right, so great. So let's start with this video. I am going to read. We'd finished reading till page 12 of my book Happiness in Your Skin, and I'm going to read the third chapter now. It's called the sources of intense happiness, and that is probably the most important chapter in this book, because here I'm talking about what I believe are the sources of intense happiness. When I say intense happiness, I mean happiness that is deep and that we can't lie about. So what are the sources of intense happiness? That's what this chapter is about. Let's start reading this. If you were to read one chapter in this book, make it this one, right? So clearly this book is me talking, because that's what exactly said right, just in the beginning. So if you were to read one chapter in this book, make it this one. No, read the entire book. What do you mean you'll read only one chapter? What have we done so far? So far we've discussed the need for happiness and the meaning it lends to our lives. When we say that daily happiness is the goal of our lives, we do things that are meaningful and purposeful on an everyday basis, right? When we say that daily happiness is the goal of our lives, we do things that are meaningful and purposeful on an everyday basis. There is no way to achieve happiness without being who we really are, right? So that's important to understand, that if we want to achieve happiness on a meaningful basis, it can only happen if we allow ourselves to be who we are in our relationships, in our work. There is no way to achieve happiness without being who you really are. Happiness is an outcome of courage to be ourselves in a world where imitation is a norm. So I mean, if you look at the most successful and most happiest people in the world, they have the courage to be themselves. They have the courage to express themselves. They have the courage to form companies which express their beliefs. They have the courage to follow their heart and do what they believe in, regardless of what anybody thinks about them. Because otherwise, imitation is the norm in the world. Most people look and do what most people do. Since people are different, the sources of happiness are myriad and many. My objective throughout this piece of work is to help you find your happiness somewhere on some page. How do you find happiness? Do people stumble upon happiness, or do they systematically create it? Do people stumble upon happiness, or do they systematically create it? Well, the answer to this question is the latter. Although you may stumble upon it also, like something may happen. Like a lot of people, there's a guy on LinkedIn. He's founded a company called Fitter, right? It was called Fitter with squats earlier, and I find that guy really inspiring. His name is Jitendra Choksi, and he started this company called Fitter, and he calls himself the accidental entrepreneur. He used to be a techie before he started Fitter, and he calls himself the accidental entrepreneur. So that way you may actually stumble upon your happiness, because he says he stumbled upon his happiness and he happened to start this WhatsApp group or a Facebook group where he would answer people's questions around fitness, and eventually that group grew so much that he had to eventually turn that into a business, and now it's a very successful company, Fitter, and it inspires a lot of people to be fitter and transform their bodies, and in case they transform their bodies, transform their mind. So you can actually stumble, but for most people that wouldn't happen, and most people, I think, will have to consciously work on creating their happiness. So you stumble upon it, but it is rare, right? Most people, I think, will have to systematically create. Can we create happiness on a daily basis? Yes, we can. Regardless of who you are, all human beings have a few things in common. We have a nose, we have which allows us to breathe. If it doesn't function properly, like when we have a cold, it disturbs our happiness and peace of mind. Similarly, there's a natural need for happiness, which can be met with universally applicable ways. Humans are essentially similar than different. Okay, that's an important point, that humans are essentially similar than different. Although we are different in terms of our strengths, in terms of our ability to live through lives and sense the problems that we have, but naturally we are similar. Like most of the things that human beings are attracted to are similar. Like all of us want to be happy, all of us have problems, although the problems differ, but everybody has a set of problems. Right, so similarly, where were we? Regardless of who you are, all human beings have a few things in common. We have a nose which allows us to breathe. If it doesn't function properly, like we have a cold, it disturbs our happiness and peace of mind. Similarly, there's a natural need for happiness which can be met with universally applicable ways, right? Humans are essentially similar than different. Yes, there are certain aspects that divide people on the basis of color, race, religion, geography, etc. But human beings around the world have more similarities than they have differences. Since we are similar, the ways to achieve happiness are globally similar too, right? That's the point I was trying to emphasize on. They may vary to some extent, but our core desires don't differ to a substantial degree. You could be happy living in the United States or India or in Russia or in Brazil. The human need for happiness is universal, and so are the ways to achieve it. The point I'm trying to make here is that we're essentially same, although our problems may be different, but the output that we're trying to seek for life is happiness, peace. It's similar, right? So the output is similar, the input may be different, and all of us can answer a few fundamental questions and try to work on them, and they are similar. So the ways to achieve happiness are similar for all of us. We can all be happy if we can only fulfill our fundamental needs, which enable us to be happy. What are those fundamental needs? Let's find out. Alright, we'll stop this video here. I'm trying to keep these videos short and crisp, because I don't want to make them long, because this is not information that is easy to digest. This book is not information that is easy to digest. This is a book where I'm talking deep stuff, which it takes time to even assimilate. So think about the stuff that you're watching in these videos. If you read this book, think about it. Keep this book with you, and you may need to come back to it again and again, right? So that's what you do. I think I'll stop here because this video is about a 9-minute long so far. So the sources of happiness are similar around the world. I mean, it may differ in terms of what you exactly choose in terms of your choice, but why you do what you do, why you should do what you should do, those reasons are similar. Alright, so we'll continue with reading this book in the future videos, and I wish you a happy day. I hope you do stuff that you enjoy, and it's a productive day for you. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.